Welcome to another edition of the Ouch Couch. This week comes out of Chicago, Illinois. The question is, what are signs that there is unhealed trauma in your life? Well, Chicago, that's a wonderful question. And what I would say is you really have to understand what that trauma is. Trauma for everyone looks a little bit different. And although, we have experienced, if we're really honest with ourselves, trauma within our life, we really need to understand its effect or its impact. Everybody deals with trauma differently. So, what do I mean when I say trauma? Something that you have experienced, whether it be in your childhood, whether it be even now as an adult. We all go through things that are or maybe have gone through things that have been hurtful for us and an unpleasant experience that has left, us feeling maybe a little bit depleted in the situation. And trauma brings about different things. When we are experiencing, things within our life that we definitely don't have control over, our trauma or being traumatized by that specific event can leave us feeling very, very lost. So I will say that recognizing the signs that you're unhealed from trauma, you first need to identify what that trauma is. And oftentimes, when you hear people saying that they are triggered by a specific event, then you know definitely that there's been some trauma there. I'll give you an example. If you grew up in a household where there was a lot of arguing, people communicate differently, but maybe within this situation, you saw mom and dad arguing a lot, or, having a lot of arguments, having a miscommunication. Maybe there was even some violence within that home that can definitely have an effect on how you view relationships in your life. That definitely can affect you and how you interact with people in your own life. So that in and of itself can be a very traumatic experience. So when you ask the question, how do I know that I'm unhealed? Is that specific event that you have experienced, is that affecting how you interact in your daily life? That could be in your relationships. Do you find yourself being very argumentative like what you grew up in that home? Do you find yourself when things can't go your way that you are, you get fighting mad, you want to fight because of something that you saw in your home? You think that that's healthy, and it's really not. It's really an unhealthy or a toxic behavior. We'll go even further with that. If you are somebody who is overcome by abuse, childhood abuse, rape, any type of a physical trauma that was out of your control, when you are around specific people, when you are interacting within an environment that, concerns what actually happened, do you find yourself responding to that? That also is something that will be an indicator for you if you're healed from that trauma or not. And let me just put a pin in that really, really quickly. When we talk about being healed from a specific trauma, I want to put a pin in it because being healed from a trauma means that, it doesn't affect you like it used to. So when we are talking about specific traumas, know that there is always going to be an evolvement in that trauma that you have experienced. Let me take a sip of water. Okay. There is always an evolvement in the trauma that you have experienced. And what I mean by that is, I don't think that, and I'm going from a personal standpoint, in my own trauma that I've experienced, I don't think that there's ever a moment where you say, I am totally healed from this trauma. I can just say that it doesn't affect me like it did back when I initially experienced that trauma. I've done the work and I continue to do the work so that I can be stronger, so that I can show up and be present with my children, on my job, with my husband, with those that I really love and support, for you, those clients that I work with. So there's always work to be done when you're talking about healing. I don't think there's ever a point where you're like, I've arrived and, hey, this happened to me and it's just water under the bridge. When when you have experienced trauma, I want you to know that there's always an evolvement in terms of your healing process. And healing, depending upon where you are in the process, looks a lot differently. So in the beginning, I might be really, really angry and upset. I can't, go around a specific person because it affects me greatly. Okay, I'm giving an example that lets me know, okay, well, maybe I'm not really in the area of feeling like I'm better, that I can interact just yet, because I need to continue to do the work. I need to continue to work with that mental health professional. I need to continue to forgive. I need to continue to let go of some of the guilt, the anger, the embarrassment, the shame, all of those different things that comes with dealing with trauma. So again, Chicago, Illinois, I hope that that really helped you in getting your ouch for today. Knowing the trauma that you have experienced, identifying what that is, and then knowing that the healing part comes in stages and phases. It's a continual evolvement. However, if you're not getting the help or the support that you need through that, then you can find yourself stuck in that one specific area of the trauma. And that's not where you want to live. That's not where you want to thrive. So again, if you're wanting to go a little bit deeper, I am definitely here as a support for you. Reach out to me at info@polyclinicalservices.com, and I'll see you again next week. Thank you for tuning in to the Ouch Couch. Each week, we're going to be bringing you the truth, telling you the real deal. What I want you to do is, if you are in a situation where you really just need an answer, you really need somebody to hear and understand where you're coming from, but you don't want to be blasted out. Maybe you don't want to, show your face. You don't want to get on the phone. I understand all of that. Each of us are at different phases in our lives, and the Ouch Couch is just there to help you in moving from your point A to point B. And if I can be a resource to that, I am definitely here for you. So to connect with me, if you want to send your questions in, again, you can direct message me through Facebook, Instagram, you can direct message me, or you can email me at info@polyclinicalservices.com. And each week, as we continue to record our sessions, you'll get your ouch. Again, that email is info@polyclinicalservices.com. See you next week.